Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, a new episode of a new show dropped yesterday on HBO Max. I think around 9 p.m. It's going to be premiering every single Monday night at 9. It's called Landscapers. It most notably stars Olivia Colman and David Thewlis. And now, I love both of these actors. I think they're magnificent in everything I've seen them in. I'm so happy that the show decided to pair these two together as a married couple. I think it's a very smart decision. And, that's the main draw for this show. These two big name actors. So I'm going to give us the shortest description I can for what this show is about. It's about a mild-mannered couple that decide to kill one of their parents. And so now this is based on a true story. It's a limited series. And like always for an episode 1 review, this will be spoiler-free. So I'm not going to spoil anything about this episode at all. But I do want to talk about it. I want to give you my thoughts on what I thought on the episode. If it's worth watching, if that's what you're here for. Or if you want to discuss about in the comments about what you thought of the episode, let me know down below. So make sure you like this video if you guys haven't been liking it. And please make sure to subscribe if you're new as we keep up with all the new movies and TV shows. So, Landscapers. One thing I always like to point out, because I know a lot of people don't really care about it, but the cinematography of this episode was great. That's just something I always want to put out there. Once I notice it in an episode, I do want to at least acknowledge it. And I thought it was great here. The show looks amazing. My big negative with the episode is that I felt very disconnected, though, with these characters in the story, since we start the episode in a place where we don't know how this couple killed one of their parents. They just kind of throw us in there with this couple who's on the run and they're living out in France. And the whole episode is sort of like them in France and then the police investigators in England trying to figure out what happened as they discover the bodies. And that's all they really give us for most of the episode. So my disconnect comes from, one, not knowing the story or not really knowing what these characters did, even though that's the intriguement of the episode, right? How could this old white couple who seems very nice kill one of their parents, which doesn't feel like anything new, like on face value, what they give us just with that description, that doesn't seem like anything new. And the whole episode, like I said, that's all they give us. So that's where my disconnect comes from. I also thought some of the comedic elements weren't really there for me. Like the police investigators, they come up very goofy at times, and the score is also very funky, but also like very British. So I think some people will enjoy it. And, now that I finished the whole episode, I will say that this isn't your typical, like, true crime drama. It does have a bit like a goofy side to it, like a comedic aspect side to it, which I wasn't expecting. So at first, I thought it was sort of like just bad comedic writing. But then I realized, maybe this is what they're going for. Maybe it could work. But that's not really something I'm a huge fan of when it comes to, like, crime dramas, especially true crime dramas. But it is unique. It is very different. So when in a time where we've gotten so many true crime dramas over the years, having like this little different comedic British thing to it is sort of unique and welcoming, but also something I'm not used to, so I don't really know how to feel about it yet. And the police investigators, I thought that whenever they focused on them, I didn't really care for them. They tried bringing in like this love interest between two of them, like in one quick little scene. I hope they don't delve into that too much, because I honestly don't care for that unless that somehow plays into the overall narrative. But it just feels like something that's forced that they don't really need. One thing I did like, though, is that they use this cool different styles for different scenes. It seems like one of the main characters, she loves old-timey movies. And so in different scenes, like, they'll use that same old-timey feel for certain scenes. And I thought that was really cool, another unique thing. And it also reminded me of, like, Vertigo. If you guys ever seen the old movie Vertigo, with those bright color scenes with, like, red and green. They implement that in here, and I thought it looked really good. It just looked good. And I don't really know like what their reason is for using that besides it just being a cool style, but I did enjoy it. And then obviously another big thing to talk about is the chemistry between these two characters, right? They need to have good chemistry. I don't think the chemistry between them was as ideal as I wanted it to. Like I said, I love these two actors, thought the decision of bringing them together was great. I don't think they complement each other like tremendously. Like I'm not watching this episode, I'm like, these two complement each other like so great. It's such a pro. But it's not a con either, like it's not bad. And like I said, like this is only the first episode. I'm not going to just start shitting on the chemistry between them when we haven't even seen much with them in the first place, right? We have to see it and then we'll talk about it. But I just want to talk about that. And then one last negative I do want to say before I give my rating is that there are moments where the characters will like talk to the audience, right? So it's like we'll see a scene and then, a main character pop up and be like, oh, so this is where I did this and that and that. And I'm just not a fan of that in like a bunch of movies. Like some people like that. Like I said, for a true crime drama, I think it just like pulls me out of the story when like I'm like invested in like this serious murder drama or like deep character moments, and then we switch and he's like talking to the audience and he's like, this is where I don't know. It just like pulled me out. It seemed very like goofy and like childish in a way, like a kids movie. Like like don't walk me through it. Show me and don't tell me. And I thought that was kind of like a misstep for them to add that in. I feels like that's gonna be like a big part of the show, which I'm not a fan of. But hopefully maybe it turns into something cool. We'll see. And so my rating for the episode is a 3.1 out of 5. It's a little bit lower than I was hoping for, only because, like I said, they don't tell us much at all about these characters or the story. The only thing we have to watch as we see is what they tell us on face value. Like I didn't watch the trailer. I don't know anything about this story, so I'm just going into it, and we're just thrown into this like aftermath of a murder where we don't really know these characters. We don't know what they've done, how they've done it. The police investigators are investigating something that we don't really know much about. So you're just sort of watching it and sort of trying to piece it together, but like not really. Like I don't know. But the only reason why I'm intrigued about what the future of this series is because at the very end with the credits, they show us real news footage of the murder, and that's when we figure out like how these people might have done it, and we get to see like the real story. And so now that I figured out like what actually happened because of the end credits, that makes me excited for like how could this couple really do this? But is that really like that interesting? Is really that new? That's why I think the style needs to be unique. You know how like I said, the different directing style, like using the old timey footage, having all these different colors and elaborate stuff. They need to make it fun like that because I think at face value you don't really have that unique of a story. Now listen, that's just my first episode impression. Like if people that know the real story, maybe they know like how crazy it might get. They might have seen like what I just said. Like I'm an idiot or something like that, right? So I might cover this show. The first episode didn't really do much for me. The trailer does make it look pretty cool though. And, depending on how this video does, like if I see that you guys are interested in it, you guys want to talk about it or whatever, I'll continue it. And I did enjoy it. I'm going to watch my own anyway. But let me know down below. What do you guys think of the episode? Were you disappointed in it? Or were you expecting more? Or did you love it? Are you excited? I can see how some people may really enjoy it. I thought it was all right. Not really my cup of tea. But I think it could be really good. So let me know down below. Please make sure to like this video if you guys have been enjoying it. Please make sure to subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Have a great rest of the day.